Hi and welcome to Yin Yoga for the Luteal Phase. So you'll have done your lessons on the different phases of the cycle, and now is time for a physical practice that can really support the luteal phase of your cycle. And the reason is because Yin is the more feminine of yoga. So you have Yang, which is the more physical. Yin is about slowing down, focusing inwards, taking that time for yourself. And it works as well to release kind of stagnant energies in the body as you move into the deeper aspects of the fascia. So it's really good for your luteal phase because the luteal phase is connected obviously with your inner critic, that time for kind of reflection, for turning inward, for slowing down. So it really supports that phase in your cycle. So today we're going to be doing a Yin practice that focuses around the hips. So it's helping us to connect into our sacral, into our womb. We're going to be doing some lovely Yin practices as well as a few restorative poses at the end to just really help us to connect in. So like I say, this phase in your cycle is about inner connection and also bringing lots of self-love, bringing lots of tools into your world where you can really support yourself in slowing down and bring in lots of supportive energies and honouring and loving yourself, because this is the phase where most often people have PMS symptoms and also have that kind of inner critic and mental struggle with the monkey mind. So it's really good during this phase in your cycle to have as many tools as you can to support you to feel good. So when you're ready, we're going to get started. So you will need some sort of bolsters. If you haven't got bolsters at home, you're more than welcome to use pillows stacked up. A blanket would be really handy. Obviously make your space nice and cozy before you begin. So maybe light some candles, have some essential oils go in. Just make it really nice and yummy so it becomes like a sacred practice where your intention is really honouring yourself and your womb space. Okay, so when you're ready, get your space nice and set up. If you've got any music as well that you would like to play, then have your music ready. And then we're going to start in Shavasana, laying down on the floor. If you've got any back problems and want support under your knees, then please feel free, or you can have the knees bent with the feet flat on the earth. Otherwise, just making your way down to the earth, coming to lay down in Shavasana. And at the start of practice, I always just like to take a few minutes just to settle into the body. You may have come from doing other things and the mind can be quite active. So it's really nice just to take a few minutes to just settle into the body, into the pose, into the earth. And just allow yourself that time to just relax, release, calm down. And then just starting to connect in with the breath. Bringing your awareness to your breath, noticing where you can feel the breath in the body. Can you feel the breath in the belly, in the ribs, in the chest? You might feel the gentle rise and fall of the shoulders. So just becoming aware of where you can feel the breath in the body. The breath is an incredible gateway for a deeper connection with ourselves. So even during your moon time, if you place your hands onto your womb and just sending the breath down to the belly, use that breath to support you in a deeper connection to self. You've got the Ujjayi breath in your practice, just bringing in the Ujjayi breath, so the breath sounds like the waves of the ocean. So sometimes in class when I'm teaching Yin, I might talk about all the different ways that you can kind of distract the mind. So counting through the breath, using different tools because we stay in the poses for longer. But for today's practice, I really invite you to just work with the breath to deepen that connection to self rather than trying to distract the mind all the time. We're looking at really deepening that connection to ourselves, to our womb spaces. So try not to escape, but move deeper inward. So really feel in the body. Where can you feel the breath? How does the breath feel on the earth? Where can you feel the parts where the body and the earth are connected? We're moving into that feminine embodiment. We're being in our bodies. And then because, like I said, this time of the month, you really want to be honouring yourself with more self-love. We're going to be bringing in the energy of love to support our practice. And there's a real simple meditation you can do for this that I do quite a lot. Is to just bring into your mind's eye, think of a time when you felt most joy, most compassion, most love. It could be connected to a person, a place, a hobby, a pet. And just bring it into your mind's eye. And then again, really try and embody. So we're bringing it into the body. So imagine that you're there in your mind's eye, but then start to feel what it felt like to be in that place. Maybe there was a gentle breeze in the air. What sensations can you bring back to associate with that memory? How can we really step into that feeling? And then when you're ready, bring in your awareness to your heart space. So it's said that our heart is our upper heart and our womb is our lower heart center. So bring in your awareness to your heart, your upper heart, center of the chest. And just imagine like a seed, like a drop, like a ball of light. You're placing that joy, that compassion, that memory into your heart center. And then with each breath in, you feel that energy of love, joy, compassion expanding out from the heart space with each breath. You're feeding that energy with prana and life force from the breath. So as you inhale, it becomes brighter and expands across the body, expands across the shoulders, maybe softening into the shoulders. As we spread love across the body creates more ease, finds more ease. So just sending it across the body, the shoulders, the arms, out through fingers and toes, down through the belly, the hips, the legs and toes, out through the neck, up through the neck, the head, the crown, so that each breath you're just sending it across the body. Until finally every cell of the body is activated with love, compassion and joy. And again, this is a meditation that you can do in your own time. So if you're having a really rough time in your luteal phase, take some time, take a moment to just be with your energy and just come back to love. Give yourself love, joy, compassion, and just hold yourself, almost like you would hold an innocent child or baby, just gently holding space for yourself. You become that mothering, loving energy for yourself. And then when you're ready, bringing your awareness back to the breath, finding a nice slow and steady breath to become the baseline of your practice. And then just start to awaken the body through the breaths. On the next in-breath, just gently taking the arms above the head or wherever feels happy for your body. You might want to gently move through the arms or the ankles, whatever feels good for you. And then as you exhale, slowly drawing the hands back down to the hips. And again, breathing in, slowly raising the arms above the head, stretching through fingers, stretching through toes. And exhale, drawing the hands back down to the hips. And really just start to enjoy the movement and the stretch in the body. Moving however feels good for you, bringing in that feminine embodiment, sensuality, enjoying being in the body. And then slowly drawing the knees up to the chest, bringing the hands to the knees, gently rocking the knees from side to side. And then just taking the knees round, giving the sacrum a nice little massage, going round in one direction. And then round in the opposite direction. And then just taking the hands out to the sides, palms facing up to the sky. Breathing in as you breathe out, gently drawing the knees over to the left. If you've got any back stuff and you want to make it a little bit more gentle, bring the feet to the earth and just gently moving the knees side to side. Otherwise, just taking the knees over as far as feels happy for you, focusing towards the opposite fingertips. And then inhale, gently coming back to center. And then drawing the knees over to the opposite side, head to the opposite side. And again, just gently moving side to side, flowing through the breath, breathing in and breathing out. And then when you come over to the right side, drawing the left arm over and across the body, using the hands on the earth. Slowly walk the body up to seated, however feels good for you. And then we're going to draw the legs all the way underneath the body. Coming onto the shins, draw the glutes back towards the heels and just bringing the head down towards the earth. Bringing the hands and the arms down to the ground. And just breathing in and breathing out. Just settling into a gentle child's pose. If you want to use any support for this pose, you can bolster. But for now, just settling into your child's pose. Child's pose is meant to be one of the most nurturing poses of yoga. Obviously, we're holding ourselves. The body is all inward, so it's more nurturing and supportive for the body and helps to kick in the parasympathetic nervous system when the front of the body is protected. And just gently coming up to an upright position, slowly taking your time, and then you're going to bring your hands into fists and pop them into kind of the little sockety bits of the hips or the little holes, and then you're going to fold over the body back into your child's pose. And this is just good for awakening and bringing energy into the womb, into the sacral. Good, and then slowly coming, it will stay here for too long. Then we're going to gently start to move into our first yin pose. So you're going to release the legs in front and then bring the feet together, knees out to the side. So we're coming into butterfly. So if you've got quite tight hamstrings, you can bring the feet towards you. The further we have the feet out, the more you're stretching into the hamstrings. When you bring the legs towards you, you move more into the abductors. So just go into wherever feels good for you. Be mindful with the hips here. If you've got any back stuff and the hips tilt backwards, then you really want to use a blanket or a block to sit on. So they do recommend really that we should always be sitting on a blanket or a block, just to help us support our hips. So you want the hips tilting forwards. And again, if you have any sciatica issues, you really do want to use a block so that the hips are higher than the knees, and obviously no folding forward. You can stay upright in this pose, or if it really doesn't work for you, then you can leave this one out. Okay, so if you want to here as well, you can use a bolster to bring the head onto, if that feels better for you, coming forwards. Or if you feel quite happy in the body, you can gently draw the body forwards, however feels good for you. I think today I want to use the bolster for support, so I'm going to use the bolster. Feel free to do whatever feels good for you in this moment. It's really important that we all just listen to what our bodies need. And what my body needs today might not be what it needs tomorrow, or even what it needs this morning might not even be what it needs this afternoon. So it's all about just checking in the moment and seeing what feels right for you, rather than doing what you think you should do, or what you have a vision of what you want to get to. Just checking in what feels right now, and then just doing that for your body. And this is when we create a deeper trust with ourselves, a deeper intuition, when we just start listening to ourselves more often. And that's the beauty of working with your cycle, is it really helps to grow that deeper intuition, grow that trust with yourself. So just enjoying your pose, coming back to the breath. Notice if you're holding any tension in the jaw, to just relax and release the jaw. Just taking the last few breaths in the pose. And even when you come through your transition, how can you make your transition more yummy? How can you serve your body a little bit more? So just really, really gently bringing hands to the earth or hands to the bolster and slowly unravel out of your pose, taking your time. There's no rush, especially in this session. This session should be about just really honouring slowing down, because that's what we're honouring within this phase of the cycle. So just bringing your hands behind your hips and gently taking their legs from side to side. And then just taking the legs out and coming back into your forward fold. So again, making sure that the pelvis is tilting forwards, using your bolster if you want to. And then in Yin, you can let the feet relax if you want to. If you've got any knee stuff, they obviously recommend not doing so. But Yin's different to Yang in how we hold the body. So just allowing yourself. So if you are folding forwards, you can just let yourself come forwards, however feels good for you. You're not reaching or stretching. You're just allowing yourself to release and come forwards. And the idea is that you're finding that Goldilocks pose, it's called. So obviously, like Goldilocks, you don't want it to be too hot, too cold, too hard, too soft. So you just want that point in the pose where you're kind of feeling the stretch, but you're not pushing yourself. So you're not in that Yang energy of push, force. You're in the Yin energy of surrender and release. So you just find that sweet spot, and then you work with the breath. And then when we hold the poses for a lot longer, you really do, it is quite a beautiful thing to have that connection with the body and just allow the body to tell you when it's ready to go a bit deeper. You do feel that opening in the body, and then you can move deeper. So you're not pushing or forcing that. You're gently working with the body and the breath. And when you feel that, which you will if you take your time, have that patience, that slowing down, and then you can move a little bit deeper. And obviously I'm being a bit more gentle in my practice today with my bolster, but when you're in your forward fold and you're working with the breath, you will then feel that gentle opening. So just doing what is right for you today with your body, making good choices for yourself. And then slowly again, gently taking your time, easing out of the pose. especially if you're in that forward fold. Just slowly taking your time, rolling from the base of the spine up to the crown. So you're really working to be kind to the spine. And then bringing the hands again behind the body, gently drawing the legs in, gently rocking the legs from side to side. And then when you're ready, coming over to all fours, taking the legs underneath the body, hands underneath the shoulders, and then just gently breathing in and breathing out, moving through your cat-cow, just gently moving through the body. And then move in however feels good for you. So taking the hips round, snaking through the spine. Just listening to what the body needs in the moment. Good, and then we're going to come into really drawing into the hips. So we're going to come through a dragon sequence. So if you want more support in your dragon pose, you can bring your bolster to the inside, so in line with the left leg. So obviously when you come to step the leg forward, you've got that support. Or you can use your blocks. So you can use your blocks. If I pop that back, you can use your blocks to really lift up your dragon pose. So getting whatever feels best for you. And we're going to actually start in high dragon, high flying dragon. And again, if you want anything to support that back knee, then you can use a little blanket or whatever you've got at home to support your practice. And just gently drawing that right leg forwards, hands onto the thigh, and just lifting through the heart space a little bit, reconnecting in with the heart. Just taking a few breaths here, shoulders away from the ears. And as you're here, just imagine that that energy of that love and compassion is just raining down onto you, raining down onto your heart space, onto your head, onto your shoulders, and just flowing across the body. Just bringing yourself back to that energy of love and compassion. And then when you're ready, bringing your hands down to the earth, and again using blocks if you want to. Kind of feel like my body wants to take it a little bit gently today, so I'm definitely going to support myself in that. And I think coming down to the forearms on my blocks feels the best for me. So whatever feels best for your body. Try not to go too low to begin with, just either hands on the earth, using your blocks, whatever feels better for you. And here's a really good place to connect in with the womb space. Dragon pose is can be quite a strong stretch. Obviously we're moving deeper into the psoas muscle. And the psoas muscle is actually a massive muscle. It wraps around from the base of the lumbar all the way around to the front of the body. And there's a whole book based on the psoas muscle, which talks about how we often think we have tight hips because of other muscles in the hip area, but actually it's actually that the psoas muscle is locked in because it's where we hold a lot of emotions in the body, and if we go through trauma it can be held within the psoas muscle. So it's a muscle that often we miss out and we don't think about, but can hold a lot of our emotions in the body. So when you are doing these deeper long holds for the hips, you might actually find that you can feel quite emotional, because it can bring up, like I said, yin's really good for releasing stagnant energy in the body. So as you're in your poses, it can be bringing up waves of emotions, and it's really good to kind of listen to the emotions that are rising. Is it anger, frustration, boredom, tiredness, whatever it may be. So it's really nice to honour those emotions that are coming up for you. And then just keep working with the breath and keep pouring the love in. If you need to, keep holding space for yourself, just being really kind to yourself, honouring yourself. And then we're going to move a little bit deeper. So now if you want to, you can flatten the blocks if you're using blocks. Either coming to the hands or coming down to the forearms, or having the forearms on the earth, whatever feels best for your body. And then you stay as you are. I'm going to come up a little bit, but you stay where you are. I'm just going to come up to show you. We're going to take the knee out to the side. So if I come to this position so you can see my leg. So wherever you are on the earth or wherever you are, you're going to just gently take the knee out. If you want to make it a little bit higher to create a bit more space, you can. So just coming into winged dragon. Again, keep checking in with the body. You may want to stay at a certain dragon pose, that's okay. You don't have to do the whole sequence. Does this feel right for me right now? Am I doing the right thing for my body? Check in, how does it feel? Good. Slowly bring the knee back up, hands back underneath the shoulders. Then we're going to walk this right leg across to the left side, coming straight into our swan or pigeon, as it's called in Yang Yoga. And again, here you can use your block underneath your hip. So I'll show you on the other side. So you have your leg in front. So you've got the knee in front. And then you want your block to go under the hip, and that can really support that hip. A lot of people find this a massive help. So just finding the right position for you. If you don't need the block, you don't need to use it. And then slowly drawing the body down to the earth, coming down to the forearms, settling down into the pose. Here as well, you can have a block underneath the forehead, if that feels good for you. Good, and then gently when you're ready, slowly bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders and slowly draw that right leg back. When we do yin for a bit longer as well, you can start to feel a bit like a 90-year-old when you're coming out of your poses. That's perfectly normal. So just coming back to all fours to begin with, just gently moving through the hips or the body, however feels good for you. And then sometimes people like to go into down dog after you've done dragon. So again, don't worry about doing your down dog perfectly. Just maybe moving through the legs, swinging the knees across, whatever feels best for you. And then coming over the toes, bringing the toes together, knees out to the sides, opening through the knees. and gently coming down into child's pose, bringing the forehead down towards the earth. You can use a block again underneath the head if that feels better for you. And then just taking a few breaths. Sometimes I quite like to just rock here in the hips. I find it's quite a nice release after doing those deeper stretches. So again, just doing what feels right for your body. Good, and then slowly releasing the block from underneath the head. Gently making your way up to all fours. Then we're going to go through our cat-cow and come over to the opposite side. So gently finding your all fours. Gently breathing through your cat-cow. Reconnecting in with that breath. And then move in however feels good for you. Good, and then stepping the left leg now forwards. Again, finding your placement of your lunge, high flying dragon. And then you can use your bolster again, get your blocks ready. I think I prefer blocks. So it's up to you, whatever feels best for you. Having that blanket underneath the back knee. And then just bringing both hands to the left thigh. Again, slightly lifting into the chest. Just imagine that you've got that rainfall of love just sprinkling down onto you. It could be gold, pink, white, brown, green, purple, whatever colour feels best for you. Good, and then when you're ready, just coming down, bringing your hands onto the blocks to begin with. And again, you might want to do a different dragon on this side. I'm kind of feeling like I want to stay on my hands on this side. So again, just checking in with your body, what feels right for you in this moment. The left and the right side of the body are often different. The left is associated with the feminine, and the right is associated with the masculine. And again, if you're really tuning in, you can notice what comes up for you within the pose. You know, do you feel frustration on the right and sadness on the left? How is that reflected into your world? Are you honouring your feminine energy? Do you feel frustrated within the masculine energy? So masculine energy is, and this isn't about so much gender, well, it is, but it's not in the sense of, you know, every body holds feminine and masculine energy within them. So this isn't kind of the, if you're a man, you should be, if you're a woman, you should be. It's more just about honouring the energies. So feminine energy is seen as being more about flow, ease, creativity, and then masculine energy is more about the linear, so it's more about moving forwards, creating a path, being organised, planned. So we really, in order to, you know, live a life of balance, we want both energies in our worlds. So it's good to check in and see the feminine and the masculine energy. And then just moving deeper into your dragon whenever it feels happy for you, coming down to the forearms, coming all the way down to the earth, using your blocks or without blocks. then coming into your winged dragon, staying as you are, or maybe coming up onto the hands, whatever feels best for you. And then when you're ready, just raising the knee and then walking that, come up to the hands, walking that left foot across to the right side, lowering the knee down, using your block under the glute if that feels good for you, and gently making your way down to the ground. Head comes onto the block if you wish, and just settling into your swan. And then gently, when you're ready, releasing the head from the block. And again, remember, really ease your way back. Nice and slow, nice and steady, gently, gently. Honouring your body, slowly drawing the leg back. Finding all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Gently swaying the hips side to side, moving the hips around, whatever feels good for you. If you want a deeper variation, coming into your down dog, just take a minute, drawing the knees over to the sides. And then coming over the toes, down to the knees. Again, knees going out to the side, coming into wide leg child's pose. Head to earth or to a block. Just taking a few moments to breathe, and again you can rock if that feels good for you. Good. Slowly coming up. And then we're going to move into a nice restorative pose where we're going to do a meditation where we're going to use our voice to re-energize the areas of the body. So it's really nice for women to use the voice because it helps to connect in with the vagus nerve that runs from the top all the way down into the bottom of the body. So the vagus nerve runs all the way along the spine. So, and it's really good for helping the body to relax. It works with the parasympathetic nervous system. So when we use the voice, it helps to, rest the vagus nerve. Or massage the vagus nerve. So you're going to bring the bolster to the back of the body, and then the second bolster we're going to use underneath the legs. Okay. So before we come back onto the bolster, or your pillows if you're using pillows at home, we're we're going to just work with the ha breath. So the ha breath is the ha. So you can use this breath for really releasing. So if you're at home and you feel that there's stuff that you want to release from the womb, from the heart space, from the body, you can really let out some really big ha, just really like let it out. And then obviously we're going to then draw the energy in, and then you can soften into your heart. So you can use the voice for releasing and for gently bringing new energy into the body. So you're going to slowly bring yourself back. If you want to use a blanket, you can use a blanket. Get yourself nice and toasty and warm. If you find the bolsters gives too much of an arch to the lower back, just use a flat block, or you can use another blanket underneath the glutes, so it's not so much of an arch through the back. And then just settling into your pose, however feels good for you. I'm just going to take my hair clip out. Okay. Good, and then we're just going to place our hands onto the womb space. You're going to create like the Yoni mudra. So you have the thumbs connected and the fingers connect, the first fingers connected, it creates a triangle. And then placing that Yoni mudra onto the womb space. And then just sending the breath into that triangle that you've created through the hands. And then we're going to use the ha breath. So we're going to do 3 ha breaths for each center that we work with. And this time the ha breath is just releasing anything that no longer serves us in this space in the body. So we're connecting with the womb. So taking a nice deep breath in. Good, twice more. Once more. Good, and then slowly shifting the hands up to the solar plexus. So you might want to place the hands differently, or you can still use that nice Yoni mudra to highlight the area. You might want to bring hands on top of each other. Whatever feels right for you, just take a minute, check in. And then we're going to do our 3 ha breaths when you're ready. Releasing anything that no longer serves you. Here we go. Good, and then gently bringing the hands to the heart space. And again, working with your breath, just finding the way the hands sit that work nicely for you. And then when we're ready, we're going to do the heart breath. So on the next inhale, here we go. Good. Gently bringing the hands back down to the womb space, coming back into your Yoni mudra. And then this time, as we use the ha breath, we're drawing energy into these spaces. So for the womb space, we're going to draw in sensuality, creativity, connection. Bringing that energy into the womb space, creativity, sensuality, just let that energy settle into the womb. and drawing the hands up to the solar plexus. So this area is often associated with courage, strength. It's the masculine centre in the body. But today we're going to invite in surrender, softness, flow into your solar plexus. Breathing in. Twice more. Letting go. And then hands to heart. And obviously our heart is associated with love, joy. And today we're going to bring in strength and courage into our heart space to give us the strength and courage to step into our power, share our truth, be in our own loving centre. Just allowing that to settle into the body. Just releasing the hands down. Good, and then gently using the hands, slowly drawing the chin to chest, drawing the body up, bringing the knees up, slowly, slowly, slowly. Drawing the body into a gentle forward fold. Just take a moment to settle, to breathe. And then just slowly coming up, allow yourself to just move the bolster to the side. Maybe keep the bolster underneath the knees, keeping the feet together, knees out to the side, and slowly draw the body back down to the earth. Having the hands onto the earth or hands onto the womb space, whatever feels better for you. And just coming back to your breath, back to your connection to self. Just take a moment in your rest to just greet your womb. Bringing your awareness through the breath, the next inhale, drawing your awareness down into your sacral, into your womb space. And just imagine a bowl in front of you, big enough for you to fit inside. Notice what the bowl looks like. Notice, what colour it is, what type of bowl it is. Become aware. Notice how the bowl feels. Does it feel inviting? Does it want to allow you to move into the bowl? And if it doesn't, that's okay. Greet your bowl, honour your bowl, and come back another day. There's no rush to this process. It's all about honouring yourself, your body, and just being in your own time. And if the bowl invites you in, just take yourself into the centre of the bowl. Just spend some time there. Again, receiving whatever wisdom comes up for you. Whether you're inside or out of the bowl, both are fine, both are okay. The importance of this practice is to keep coming back to your sacred centre, keep coming back to your bowl. Start a connection to your sacral and build on this connection. Ask your bowl what it needs. What does your womb need right now? For instance, if the bowl looks a little bit cracked, does that mean that you need more support and nurture? And how can you give that to yourself? And the most important thing here is to listen to the wisdom of the womb. Go away and do whatever it asks you to do. So imagine if the womb is not letting you in at this time, and it asks you to give yourself more time for yourself. I'm sure if you go away and give yourself that time, you come back to the bowl the next time. It will invite you in, or there may be something else that you need to do. It's not about becoming frustrated with your womb, with your body. It's about finally having that conversation with yourself. It may be many, many, many years. You may have never checked in with your womb. So it's just about starting that conversation with yourself. And if something comes up that you're not sure of, that you don't know what to do, or you want some more wisdom, then please feel free to just send me a message, reach out, and I'm happy to support you on this journey. And just take a moment to pay gratitude to your womb, to your bowl. Honour yourself. Honour this sacred vessel that we have within the body. And then come back to your body, come back to your breath, come back to the now. Just allow yourself this last few moments to just rest, breathe and be. Good, and just gently when you're ready to come out. If you're not, just stay as you are, it's fine. Just continue to rest and be. But if you're ready, just gently bend in the knees, drawing the feet onto the bolster, onto the pillows, whatever you've been using. And just start to ease your body out, maybe draw knees to chest. Slowly draw the body over to one side. And then just take an extra moment to just rest, just be, just breathe. And slowly using the hands, gently allow yourself to rise up to seated. However feels good for you. Bringing your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your womb. Bowing into the chin. And just giving yourself a gentle smile. Just honouring, seeing yourself, sending yourself uber amounts of love. Where can you pour more love in? Just gently bringing your hands to prayer in front of the heart space, gently flickering through the eyes, opening the eyes, lift the gaze. And namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this yin yoga practice. I hope you and your womb have enjoyed it. And if you have got any questions, any wandering months, anything that you'd like to know, please feel free to just reach out, just message me. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to hearing about your journeys with your womb. Lots of love. Bye.